central vacuum system used for the full service car wash. Requires some maintenance. We're going to need the grease gun because we've got some bearings here that need to be greased on a weekly basis. We've got the bucket here that holds the trash that we need to empty and service nightly, as well as our bags that we need to shake down and clean nightly to make sure that they're in place and they're intact and they're working properly. The bucket itself is in the bottom of the hopper. It's totally removable to be emptied out. The end with the notch in it is designed to go in first. It slides right underneath the cone and slides all the way back so it catches the dirt. When you close the door, you want to make sure that your gasket is clean. Close the door up. And make sure that the latches are adjusted so that there is good tension on the door. To inspect the bags, the normal procedure at night is to shake them all down and reach inside to make sure any dirt and debris that's got caught up in the bag falls down into the bottom of the hopper. If you come into your vacuum assembly and you find a lot of dirt and trash and dust up in the top, it's usually because somebody, when shaking the bag, happened to pull too hard and pull one out of position. If it pulls out of position, it needs to be reinstalled. The way to do it is, you can see here that there is a groove. There's a piece of molded material inside that gives you a nice groove to seat inside the retainer ring. And this is it's on a stainless steel ring, so we can bend it pretty flexible. So we actually want to drop one side in and bend it almost in a U so we can get it into the hole. So we set the back side in, bend it this way so that we're in all the way, and then let it run until it snaps in place. And it's got to be in there tight so that you can't pull it out. It takes a lot of work to pull it out. It's very tight in there and solid. The only way it's going to come out is if somebody really yanks on it or tries to get that thing unassembled. If all the bags are clean and done, you've emptied your trash out, close the vacuum cleaner again. If we don't have a lot of tension when we go to close it, what we do is we open it up, turn the latch in counterclockwise, about 2 or 3 turns, until we get some spring tension on there that helps to pull that door closed and gives you a tight seal. At each one of the vacuum stations, through the PVC pipe, they've plumbed in an inlet valve and an inlet adapter on the hose, and that's how we make our connection. Up top, they've got a vacuum tool holder to help shut it off. Okay. You can hear the suction is good. Everything seems okay. Vacuum turbine spins at 3,600 RPMs. So at that high RPM, we need to service this because of the heat load a little bit more often. This is on a weekly grease maintenance schedule. Again, grease fittings are at either end of the turbine. Put the grease gun on again. 3 pumps upon each one. Same thing on this one here. We open up the flap, attach the gun. We give this 3 shots of grease. Pop this one off. Put it back together again. If we do have a loss of suction, the motor's running okay, the bags are okay, seem to be okay, then we could have had some wet weather, could have had vacuumed up a lot of wet debris in the cars, could have a clogged pipe, they could have a pipe dislodged or dislocated in the trench, in the vacuum trench. They'll need to pull up the plates, and they need to review that there and make sure that all their connections are closed tightly. Daily maintenance is emptying the trash bucket and shaking down the bags. Whenever that's done, whenever you complete your job, back out there, start it up again, make sure it works. And this service is normally done at night. So after closing, somebody will go through the machine, clean it, shake the bags down, put it back together. That night, they should go right back to the unit, start it back up again to make sure they have full suction and it's ready to go in the morning. The weekly maintenance on it is the grease fittings on the turbine, one on either side of the turbine, and that should be greased once a week, 2 to 3 pumps of grease on each time. This one here, because they have a twin vacuum system, they've got 2 check valves. They're swing flow check valves. If they run this vacuum only, then that valve will suck closed, so they're not wasting any air drawing through this turbine. If they want to run both of them together, they'll both draw down on one line, through the one line here, and give them maximum suction. But the way it works, they can alternate these units from one to the other. If they get really busy, they can turn them both on at the same time and get maximum suction. They do have a fairly long run. They do have set up there for 4 lanes of vacuum cleaning. So they're set up to do it if they need it. If not, they've got the maximum performance of 1 unit through 1 separator. This one here is just for service. you know, not really necessary, but if they want to try to determine whether their problem is either at the vacuum line or not, they can measure and draw suction by turning that off and putting the tester on just the bag and making sure that the machine itself is drawing 7 inches of vacuum, which is about what you get out of a 20 horsepower unit. What's underneath this here where it says caution is the flex coupling. The flex coupling is what connects the motor to the turbine. It's a Woods coupling, externally serviced, doesn't need any physical service. It's one of those, it runs, if it wears or you get some excessive vibration, it could fail or it could fatigue, crack or split. If that happens, the guard is there to protect any injury. When it does happen, it's just a replacement item. A new coupling gets bolted back on again, back in business. But it requires no regular maintenance or regular service.